shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Oseh shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Lechi lach to a land that I will show you. Lech lecha to a place you do not know. Lechi lach on your journey I will bless you. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. And you shall be a blessing. Lechi lach. Lechi lach. And I shall make your name great. Lech lecha. And all shall praise your name. Lechi lach. On your journey I will show you. L'simchat chayim. L'simchat chayim. L'simchat chayim. Lechi lach. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechi lach.
Shabbat Shalom. On behalf, I'm Rabbi Sarah Paris, and this is Cantor Arik Luck. And on behalf of the whole clergy team at Congregation Emanu-El, I'm so excited to welcome you to a really, really special service this evening. This evening, we're going to be honoring the life and legacy of Debbie Friedman, who is a prolific composer and liturgist, and she's had a huge impact not only on myself and Cantor Luck, but on the Jewish world in general. This Shabbat, we also read Parshat Beshalach, which is the Torah portion when the Israelites crossed the Red Sea, escaping slavery in Egypt. This is a particularly auspicious Shabbat for Debbie's yahrzeit to fall on, because this is the Shabbat when we read, Parshat Beshalach is also known as Shabbat Shirah, or the Shabbat of Song, because in Parshat Beshalach, we read Shirat Hayam, the Song of the Sea, which is the inspirational words behind Mi Chamocha and Debbie Friedman's Miriam song that we'll sing together later tonight. So for our services tonight, we are really going to be lifting up and celebrating Shabbat Shirah in honor of Debbie Friedman. Instead of a traditional sermon, we're going to be doing an extended sermon/service in song, which will include larger and deeper teachings between our prayers, honoring Debbie by lifting up some of her acclaimed contributions to Jewish liturgy and song. Between 1971 and 2010, Debbie recorded 22 albums and breathed new life into countless pieces of Jewish liturgy and song. She was a force filled with depth, not simply with the gift of music. Her influence reaches all corners of the earth, and many of her melodies have become part of standard Jewish liturgy. For example, Debbie's Yai Nai 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 that we all know and love for Havdalah is used not only in the Reform world, but around the globe in Orthodox, Reform, conservative, and secular communities alike. Cantor Luck and I, like many of our peers and fellow members of our clergy team, both consider ourselves proud Reform Jews raised on Debbie's music at Jewish summer camps, making her a huge part of our journeys to becoming rabbis and cantors. Debbie's songs never cease to transport me back to song sessions and services at Camp Eisner, where I grew up, and they always bring a smile to my face, as I'm sure you will see and will hopefully be contagious throughout services this evening. Debbie sadly died in 2011, far too young and with far too much music inside of her that we never got to learn. However, we honor and celebrate her legacy every single time that we use her music and lyrics to find meaningful moments in prayer and Jewish community, as I hope we will all do together tonight. It is my honor to begin the services by inviting in not one but two bat mitzvah for tomorrow morning. I'm so excited to welcome Catherine and Elizabeth Rogers and their parents, Dale and Leland, who Cantor Luck and I have had the honor of working with over the last few months. Catherine and Elizabeth are going to be leading us in candle lighting and Kiddush this evening.
Make sure that one stays. There you go. Okay. Share it with you. You know what? Okay. There we go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו להדליק נר של שבת.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shavach kodsho b'ahav v'ratzon yibchilanu zikaron lemaaseh bereishit Yom Tehillah Lemikra Kodesh Zechar Letzion Mitzrayim Kivanu Bacharta Beotanu Kidashta Mikol Hamim V'Shabbat Kodshecha Ve'ahava Uvratzon Mikol Tanu Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh
Amen.
L'chaim. We cannot wait to join you in the courtyard tomorrow morning to celebrate your bat mitzvah. We're so proud of you, and thank you for leading our congregation to start off our Shabbat. We are going to be continuing by beginning our Kabbalat Shabbat service this evening with Debbie Friedman's composition of Kumi Lach, which is emblematic of the ways that Debbie broadened and deepened Jewish liturgy. Kumi Lach is an excerpt from Shir HaShirim, Song of Songs. It is a Sephardic minhag, or custom, to sing all of Shir HaShirim each Friday afternoon as part of Kabbalat Shabbat or leading into it. Shir HaShirim is a love story about a couple, and we read Shir HaShirim at the beginning of Shabbat because Shabbat is like the wedding of the Jewish people and God. So by arranging Kumi Lach, which is a song that many of us had never heard of before this composition, Debbie Friedman made this Sephardic minhag available to Reform synagogues like ours to use in our Kabbalat Shabbat services. Please join with us.
Rise, my love, my beauty, come away. For lo, the winter is over, the rain is past and gone. Kumi lach, kumi lach, rayati, yafati, kumi lach, kumi lach, kumi lach, rayati, yafati, kumi lach, ki hine hasta rava, hageshem chalav halach lo. Kine hasta rava, hageshem chalav lo. Kumi lach, kumi lach, rayati, yafati, kumi lach.
We continue our service tonight by welcoming in the Shabbat Angels with Shalom Aleichem. This was actually Debbie's final composition that at her last time at Hava Neshira, which is a big retreat of cantors and Jewish musicians that happens at Asrui, a Jewish camp in Wisconsin. Debbie actually debuted this composition and added an original verse that taps into a Kabbalistic tradition about Shalom Aleichem. So usually we're singing about welcoming the angels and asking them to go and leave in peace. But Debbie added on a final verse of Shuvchem, please return. Please come back to us next week to bring that joy of Shabbat back into our lives. And we will be using not only Debbie's composition, but also her original words this evening. Shalom Aleichem.
I would also like to add that so many people wanted to put Debbie into a box, and it just wasn't possible. Her melodies can be sung any way you want to sing them. And that's one of the things that I loved about her music and still love so much. Shalom Aleichem, Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boichem
לשלום מלכי השלום מלכי עליון מי מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שלום עליכם שלום עליכם מלכי השרת מלכי עליון מי מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש הקדוש ברוך הוא ברכוני לשלום מלכי השלום מלכי עליון מי מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שלום עליכם שלום עליכם מלכי השרת מלכי עליון מי מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש הקדוש ברוך הוא צל שובכם לשלום מלכי השלום מלכי עליון מי מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא שלום עליכם שלום עליכם מלכי השרת מלכי עליון מי מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש הקדוש ברוך הוא
We continue with our call to worship, the Baruch Hu, which is on page 27 in our virtual prayer book. If you are following along, please rise, turn to the east, and join with us.
ברכו את אדוני המבורך ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד ברוך אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד
We are about to pray the Shema and V'ahavta together, using one of Debbie Friedman's very first compositions, And Thou Shalt Love. Debbie composed this English-only version of the V'ahavta in the 1970s when she was a counselor at Asrui, the camp that I mentioned before, the URJ summer camp outside of Chicago. You'll notice that this V'ahavta is entirely in English, which was revolutionary in the 1970s, but now has become common practice largely thanks to Debbie and her work. Instead of the Hebrew text for V'ahavta, Debbie used the English translation from the Classical Reform Union Prayer Book as her liturgy, bringing new life to this old-school classical text and making it contemporary and accessible to a new generation of Jews. Please join us for the Shema and V'ahavta beginning on page 24.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Leolam Vaed. And thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, with all thy soul, and with all thy might. And all these words which I command you on this day shall be in thy heart, shall be in thy heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and thou shalt speak of them when thou sittest in thy house, when thou walkest by the way, and when thou risest up, and when thou risest up, and when thou liest down, and thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thy hand, and they shall be for frontlets between thine eyes, and thou shalt write them on the doorposts of thy house, and upon thy gates, and upon thy gates, that ye may remember and do all of my commandments, and be holy unto thy God, unto thy God, unto thy God.
Singing that tonight's making me realize that thanks to Debbie's melody, that was one of the first prayers I fully understood the meaning of, because we were literally singing it in English at camp, unlike many of our other prayers, and it helped me start learning liturgy on the journey to becoming a rabbi. So as I mentioned earlier tonight, we read Parshat Beshalach, this week, which contains the words of the Micha Mocha, which we are about to pray together. In Beshalach, we witness the Israelites crossing the Red Sea after God has mystically parted it, and rabbinic lore teaches us that the Israelite women led the way, dancing across the empty, dry seabed and celebrating their imminent freedom. After the words of the Micha Mocha tonight, we're going to sing Debbie Friedman's Miriam song, her homage to these matriarchs who quite literally guided the Israelites and all of us to freedom with joy and song. I personally have many wonderful memories of singing and dancing to Miriam's song at summer camps and retreats and conferences, and in sanctuaries across the country. I can vividly recall joining hands and singing at the top of my lungs with my community, trying to capture that same joy that the Israelite women felt when they crossed the sea millennia ago. In many ways, Debbie herself was a modern-day prophetess and a pioneer, just like these women, leading the way for others. When Debbie first debuted in the world of Jewish music, there were no women cantors, let alone no lesbian cantors. Yet there was Debbie, blazing a trail that none could deny. A modern-day wizard, a modern-day extraordinary leader, leading us all forward with her music and spirit. Micha Mocha, page 40.
בוקי הים לפני משה זה לי ענו ואמרו זה לי ענו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד and the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. And Miriam was a weaver of unique variety. The tapestry she wove was one which sang our history. With every thread and every strand she crafted her delight. A woman touched with spirit, she dances towards the light. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. And Miriam the prophet took her timbrel in her hand, and all the women followed her, just as she had planned. And Miriam raised her voice in song, she sang with praise and might. We've just lived through a miracle, we're going to dance tonight. And the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long.
This is making me wish more than usual that we are together in the sanctuary, because that would have been a lot of fun to do in the Martin Meyer all together. Debbie Friedman saw herself as a liturgist, not a composer of Jewish music. And the Misha Berach healing prayer that we are about to say together is a perfect embodiment of that reality of Debbie's life's work. In composing this Misha Berach, Debbie quite literally wrote a new piece of Jewish liturgy. And the words of this piece are entirely original, co-written by Debbie and Dora Seitel. By revitalizing the Misha Berach, Debbie breathed new life into it, taking something that wasn't largely a part of Reform practice and infusing it with new Jewish words and melodies, bringing it back to relevance and meaning, and helping our rich Jewish tradition to bring comfort to our lives. Using Debbie's words, we will now take a moment to pray for all of those in our community and in our lives who are in need of healing. As I read our healing list, please chat the names of anyone who you would like to send healing prayers towards in our chat box. Tonight, we especially pray for the healing of Susan Cole, Frank Friedman, Ruth Rishin, Marilyn Lubarsky, Michael Shaw, Rusty Holden, Lauren Knickerbocker, Terry Borer, Armando Salazar, Daniel Salazar, Kenneth and Mary Klein, Randy Evans, Beth and Mark Crosby, Marilyn Friedman. And from the San Francisco Towers Jewish community who's partnering with us tonight, we also pray for the healing of Carolyn Olson-Stelman, Carolyn Reznikoff, Rabbi Alexander Dukovny, Michael Enery, Terry Borer, Jeannie Sassoon, Mel Flyer, Eric Zimmerman, Dennis Shapiro, Rabbi John Spitzer, Jerry Sanderson, Sasha Shapiro, Sherry Key, and Dory and Art Wenner. We join together in the words of Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mikor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishe Berach Imotenu Mikol HaBracha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
We are now going to continue together with a silent Amidah, an opportunity for prayer and reflection individually. Oh, sorry. Cantor Luck, we have one more song before that.
That's okay. But since we're stopped,
You found it!
yeah. I keep this in my office normally. And I went and picked it up today. And now we're going to sing it. Sing unto God, sing a new song, oh, sing praises to God, give thanks to God with a song, oh, sing praises unto the one above. Let us rejoice, all ye righteous, and cry out to our God with joy. Sing out from your hearts, oh, sing praises to God. Bless God's name, oh, sing unto our God a song of prayer. Sing praises to the one. Sing unto God. Bless God's name, oh, sing unto our God a song of prayer. Sing praises to the one. Sing unto God. Let us rejoice, all ye righteous, and cry out to our God with joy. Sing out from your hearts, oh, sing praises to God. Bless God's name, oh, sing up to our God a song of prayer. Sing praises to the one. Sing unto God. Sing unto God, sing a new song unto. Sing unto God, sing a new song unto. Sing unto God, sing a new song unto God. Sing a new song to God. Sing a new song to God.
That was a much better segue because now we will sing our own songs unto God, filled with the joy of that beautiful song by Debbie, one of her earlier compositions, right, Canterluck?
Oh, yeah.
So now we will take time for a silent Amidah. We'll begin collectively with Adonai Svatai, which is on page 46, and then continue with the prayers of our hearts or of the pages, page 46 through 62. Please rise and join with us.
Adonai Svatai Tiftach Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Say shalom bimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Israel ve'al kol yoshvei tevel ve'imeru
I'm just going to share a little bit of personal memory about Debbie at this moment. I promise it'll be short. I first started singing Debbie Friedman's music when I was a very little boy. I guess I would have been a fifth grader at Camp Interlochen JCC in Eagle River, Wisconsin. I didn't know who Debbie Friedman was. I didn't know that there were people who wrote Jewish songs. That just wasn't something that had occurred to me back then. But I did know Debbie Friedman because every day we sang her songs, all 300 of us, as loud as we could. We were definitely competing for, which cabin could sing it the loudest and all that. And like kids, we were singing with total abandon, which is something I think it's so hard to achieve total abandon as an adult, but it for some reason so much easier when you're a child. Decades later, I decide to become a cantor, and I still don't know who Debbie Friedman is, but I find out when I get to cantorial school that she wrote all these songs that we used to sing when I was little. I kind of selfishly thought, to me, Jewish music was only things where I'm singing in a sort of classical style. So, the truth is, I'm embarrassed to say I didn't think so much of it, but it's really embarrassing. And I think it was my third year, I looked at the syllabus, I looked at the classes, I had to register for class. And I said to Rachel, look, Debbie Friedman is teaching a class. Can you believe this? And I said, well, I'll take it. And I very sarcastic, I'm so embarrassed that I said this out loud, but I actually said out loud, well, this way I can say that, I could put on my resume that she was my teacher. So awful. Anyway, I go and I sit down in class. I was completely transformed. And I said earlier in this service that you couldn't put Debbie into a box, and that's absolutely the truth. First of all, in my entire education, kindergarten through grad school and seminary, I don't know if I've ever had a teacher who sits in other people's classes because she wants to learn. And that's what Debbie did. She just sat there and audited classes. So not only was she my teacher, she was also my classmate just for fun because she loved it so much. And she created a lab for us where we basically had to create. And it ended up very quickly becoming my favorite course. I took it every semester. And I was blessed, so blessed, that she was the person who installed me at my first pulpit in Evanston, Illinois. And she came out and said a blessing for me. And, I'll never forget it. Super special. And not long after that, I saw her for the last time at Havana Shira, the song leading convention. And the last thing Debbie ever said to me was, Arik, you can call me whenever you want, right? I said, yeah, Debbie, I know that. It's so sweet. And she looked at me. She realized I was she said, no, you could call me at 3:00 in the morning and I would pick up the phone. I wouldn't think that was strange. I said, thank you. That was the last interaction I ever had with her. She sadly died soon after that. And to this very day, I say the same thing to every single one of my bar and bat mitzvah, my b'nai mitzvah students. I think Debbie, she wanted so badly for us to go out there and bring healing to people. She was pleading with us. My last year of school, my 5th year, I remember she had our whole class together and she said, your congregants, you're going to go out there, you're going to find a job and you're going to go out there and people are going to be hurting. They need you. They desperately need you. You've got to be ready to give them the ability to seek and search for healing. I really wish we had her in 2020. Instead, we have her memory and her music that'll hopefully take us through 2021 to the end of this pandemic. Those who sow in tears will reap in joy.
will reap in joy, will reap in joy. Those who sow in tears, will reap in joy, will reap in joy. Those who sow in tears, will reap in joy.
Filled with Debbie's light and Debbie's music, our thoughts now turn to those in our lives who are no longer with us. As I read our congregational Kaddish list, please chat the names of anyone who you are remembering and longing for this evening. Tonight, we are especially remembering those who are yet to be laid to rest in our congregation: Richard Zuniga, Leonard Paul, and Saeed Abdul Majid. In addition, we are remembering the following individuals who died in the last month: Richard Rawson, Anna Rose King, Dr. Henry Landau, Morton Danker, Hannah Johnson, Pauline Leibowitz, Barry Rubens, Sophia Lambert, Howard Gilman, Tess Rosenbush, Pessa David Vashena, Howard Miller, Allison Small, Elizabeth Meter-Perel, Jesse Levy, and Claude Gantz. From the Towers community, we recognize the following yard sites: Vera Obermeyer, Anne Shures, and Blanche Roth Newman. Congregationally, we recognize the following anniversaries of death yard sites: Ongle Beckles, Gerard Blank, Sydney Blum, Dora Bearer, Sophie Bolton, Philip Brandt, Judith Brody, Rabbi Samuel Brody, Nan Petnick Butensky, Stephen Charnas, Bud Cohen, Richard Coleman, Louis Davis, Bernard Dehovitz, Beverly Dennebeim, Richard Shine Dinner, Marcia Donner, Cecilia Duprest, Cynthia Efrate, George Edelson, Harry Fireside, Frank Fudem, Sarah Shapiro Gershik, Lucretia Glasser, Abe Goldberg, Lawrence Goldberg, Abby Goldman, Rose Rebecca Snyder Gordon, Jonathan Joseph Greenberg, Moses Misha Grossman, Verl Grossman, Jane Huft, Jeannie Jasper, Alexander Kaiser, Jack K., Frank F. Crimmin, Esther Kvico, Solomon Lanster, Carrie Leeds, Stephen Lieber, Reader Levinson, Blossom Willens Levin, Irving Levitt, Minna Levitt, Marianne Magruder, Seymour Bill Miller, Judith Milstein, Dana J. Langfeld Nicholsberg, Richard E. Orgel, Erwin A. Page, Lenny Paul, Jennifer Perlman, Russ Pratt, Bob Rappaport, Lena Rishu, Maurice Rhine, Zinna Reutman, Thomas B. Rolfe, Jack Rawson, Ethel B. Rosenthal, Leo Schneider, Jacqueline Schneider, Ida Cohen Schwartz, Dorothy Jonas Selig, Flora V. Selig, Barbara Siegel, Gladys Silver, Vesta Spant, Emma Stoff, Ira Stone, Benny Thiel, William Tiefenthal, Samuel Wagenfeld, Amy Waldman, Morris W. Walsh, Lillian Weinstock, Ruth Block Winokur, Harold Yanowich, and Barbara Zettel. Please rise and join with me in the Mourner's Kaddish if it is your custom. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah, Bioma divrach yute v'yamlich malchute, B'chayechon u'b'yomechon u'v'chaye dechol Beit Yisrael, Bagala u'bizman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehe Shmei Rabbah mivorach le'olam u'meo maya. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitale v'yitalal Shmei dekudesha brichu. Le'ela min chol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, damiran b'yalma v'imru Amen. Yehe Shlama Rabbah min Shemaya, v'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen.
You turn my mourning into dancing, so that my soul might sing to you. So did my soul sing to you, and did not be stilled. You turned my mourning into dancing, so that my soul might sing to you. So did my soul sing to you, and did not be still. Oh God, my God, forever I will thank you. Oh God, my God, forever I will thank you. Oh I sing praises to the Holy One, who lifts me up when I have fallen. And I cried for you to heal me, and you have answered all my prayers. I ask you to be gracious and hear me, Adonai. I have called to you to help me. You've supported me with joy. Oh God, my God, forever I will thank you. Oh God, my God, forever I will thank you. Oh God. You turn my mourning into dancing, so that my soul might sing to you. So did my soul sing to you, and did not be still. You turn my mourning into dancing. You turn my mourning into dancing. You turn my mourning into dancing.
So beautiful. We only have a few announcements tonight. We have a lot of really wonderful adult education events coming up, and we hope that you will join us. We have a resiliency series led by different members of our clergy, and we also have a book talk coming up with Rabbi Steve Leader from Wilshire Boulevard Temple that we're very excited about. And Purim is in a month, so stay tuned for all of our congregational festivities to celebrate together at the very end of February.
I've also got one, Cantor Adji and I. So first off, if you've always wanted to be able to read Hebrew, Cantor Atti is going to be teaching a class to learn the Aleph Bet. So you should definitely take that class. Further, if you already know how to read the Aleph Bet, but you've never chanted before, I'm going to be teaching a class about how to chant Haftarah. And the Haftarah are the readings that happen on Shabbat that complement the Torah readings. They're chanted in a different way. So we'll get together, we'll learn how to chant Haftarah, and anybody who wants to, it's not a requirement, can join me and we'll chant a little bit of Haftarah for our Passover morning service on Zoom. So join us for this, either class.
So stay tuned for those sign-ups for all of those lectures and classes. We're going to join together for Motzi before we conclude our service. So please join with me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen.
Amen.
Not by might and not by power, but by Spirit alone shall we all live in peace. Not by might and not by power, but by Spirit alone shall we all live in peace. The children sing, the children dream, and their tears may fall, but we'll hear them call, and another song will rise, another song will rise, another song will rise. Not by might and not by power, but by Spirit alone shall we all live in peace. Not by might, not by power. Shalom.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight to celebrate the life and legacy of Debbie Friedman. It has been such a pleasure to lead this service with you, Cantor Luck. It's brought a real smile to my face, and I can see the one on yours as well. We hope that you will turn in for Shabbat services again soon, and we'll see you then. Shabbat